Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to what feels like a very, very overdue Rage video, and recording in stunning high definition as always. And I do apologize if like my poppy seems to be a little bit actually, I'll tell you what, I'll just do the one better, because I'm gonna like move it slightly higher up, because it should technically like be a little bit sort of like mid upper for my breast here, which is kind of why I had to put this on like just like this way, because for what it's worth, I may as well point out at this stage is that it's the same reason why I'm not wearing my jacket. It's the same reason I'm not wearing my shades for this. Now, this is because, ladies and gentlemen, and also because today is the 11th of November, Armistice Day, and what's rather important, certainly as far as I go, not just out of someone who is a huge Metallica fan, but also this is not my first time encountering this song. It was one of my very first songs that I ever did a reaction video for back in 2018. And in that video, ladies and gentlemen, I cried like an absolute baby. Even now thinking about it, it's got me kind of like not upset, but I'll tell you specifically what I'll mention it later on anyway about what this song really means. I'm just gonna have like a hanky like just on standby anyway. But if it's for literally no other reason, then this is still highly regarded as the single best Metallica song ever made. And there are a lot of good reasons for that. And if you're a little bit out of the loop, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time we all found out. So, if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. Let's begin. Disposable Heroes in 3, 2, 1, and here it comes. I'm struggling to work out how James didn't end up with bleeding fingers after that. I'm struggling to work out just what just the Sorry, I can't do this, guys. I gotta crank this shit up. We've got like just under 7 minutes to go, and I'm not even sure if I can even do this. I've got to be brave.
No one to play soldier now. No one to bring front. You will do what I say when I say back to the front. You will die when I say you must die back to the front. You coward, you service, you blind man. Barking a machine gun fire does nothing to me now. Sounding of the clock that ticks, get used to it somehow. More a man must fight to wear, glory seeker trends. Bodies fill the fields I see, the slaughter never ends. Soldier boy, made a play, now an empty jail. 21, only son, but he served his will. Bred to kill, not to care, do just as we say. Phoenix here, bringing death, he comes to take away. Back to the front, you will do what I say when I say back to the front. You will die when I say you must die back to the front. You coward, you service, you blind man. Why am I dying hell? Have no pity, I live a lying hell. Feel it here.
I'm gonna cut back to the solo in a second, but I just want to say for the record, it's a good thing you can't see this side of my face because I've got tears in my eyes, and spiraling all down my face. Because I think it's about as good a time as any, just to explain, maybe because it was about this time back in July 27th of 2018, if I can remember correctly, over 3 years ago, about why I was crying to Disposable Heroes. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it was for the very first time in my life you have to understand from the way I look at it is that it's all well and good to remember those who have fallen, but we're talking about from all sides of every nation, infantry, allies, everyone who's been involved in any sort of conflict, international, civil, neighboring, whatever it may be. You're talking about friggin' children, almost literally children, or people who know nothing of the meaning of war, going out and literally murdering each other. War is just concentrated murder on a national, on a worldwide scale. And I think the reason why if I can remember why I was so moved by it, it's not because it was Metallica painting it gritty, but also in a very striking and a very, very archaic manner. And to be fair, there's a certain way there's a certain composition to things that are chaotic, and Disposable Heroes absolutely its absolute strength is in its savageness. This is a song that is one of the most savage as you could possibly get. Not because it is one of the hardest thrash songs ever made, but because it's absolutely telling you as it is. 21, only son, but he served us well. What was it? Bred to kill, not to care, and back to the front. Because bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, bear in mind, if 21 sounds like like young to be fighting an army. It should be worth mentioning that if you ever get the opportunity to read George Orwell's Homage to Catalonia, which talks about Orwell's participation in the Spanish Civil War, roughly around about the same time when Ernest Hemingway wrote For Whom the Bell Tolls, which was also about the Spanish Civil War, Orwell talks about kids as young as 15, some as young as 12, who were fighting in the same militia as he was, and without wanting to get, because I don't really want to spoil the book too much, but you're talking about children fighting, using guns, throwing grenades. It's I suppose looking back on it, I'm not too like shocked or upset in thinking about it, but if that's for only one reason, the only reason I can honestly think about why I'm sort of a little bit more relaxed now is because I should consider this, but I shouldn't let it. Should I let it be the dominant factor in all this? I don't know what the right or wrong response is. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be like one of the hardest lyrics you'll probably almost ever to come across in metal, not just before 1986, but probably for the next 100 years. That is your role in life, ladies and gentlemen. You are born merely to be slaughtered. You are born for dying, and you can't even, not even for some, not even a very peaceful way, or you are born in the most archaic circumstances of being blown apart, being shot at until there's more holes than person. You are, and that's like the friggin' almost like the worst thing of all is that, looking back, if we could really get an estimate count of, we'll say the First World War in particular, about the amount of people who died, we wouldn't even come close. And it makes me kind of upset because why should it ever come to stuff like this? Like, because when I was like in secondary school, I was, well, basically when I turned 14 is roughly about 10 years ago was when the Syrian civil war began. And if there are people out there who watching this in the future who are too young to remember what happened in the Syrian civil war, you might possibly want to, if there are people out there who are like younger than 20, you probably may want to go ask your parents about it, because it was one of the some of the most shocking imagery and some of the most hideous stories in the world. And 10 years before that, during the war in the Middle East, I was a little bit too young to like follow what happened, but oh my, like it and also it's I think like a lot of people I mean, but you want to know one person who wasn't disposable, who wasn't a disposable hero, was my great granddad when he fought in the Second World War. And just a very short little thing, my great granddad Johnny Lynn was destroyed by a German U-boat out at sea in the Atlantic. I don't know whether or not my great granddad was burnt or drowned. I don't think we'll ever know. But you know what German U-boat sunk him? The one that is now commonly referred to as Das Boot. That was the same U-boat that killed my great granddad. It's if you talk, and I know a lot of other people in my like extended family who've fought, who've been part of the army, and so some of the things heaven knows what they have to go through, and goodness knows that's the sort of thing that made me realize that maybe there were good reasons why I was turned away from the army, because they turned down my application. That's another story entirely, but
Life played out before my birth. Nothing could I say. Had no chance to see myself molded day by day. Looking back, I realize nothing have I done. Left to die with only friend. Alone I cleanse my gun. Soldier boy, made of clay. Now an empty shell. 21, only son. But he served us well. Right to kill, not to care. Do just as we say. Finish him, winning step. The young to take away. Back to the front, you will do what I say. When I say back to the front, you will die. When I say you must die. Back to the front, you coward, you servant, you blind man. Back to the front. Back to the front. Back to the front. Back to the front. Back to the front.
okay, the ladies and gentlemen, that was Disposable Heroes. I feel exhausted, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like there's only really one way I can honestly describe everything I had in mind about Disposable Heroes at this point. I don't even realize. I think maybe you know what? maybe it's because, like, the more I think about it, what is this thing about, like, anti-war songs that, like, really slow, and they have to be rather, like, they have to have a very composed melody, whilst Metallica, they go straight for using fear and reason. Like, there's reasons to be afraid of it. And it's because it's anarchy, chaos, every single direction. I mean, I call it music. It is music. But I think the whole point was that it was supposed to be constant, non-stop, and the sound of it was like a drill, like a drill marching. But it struck in every single crevice. It made, like, oh god, I think if there's one thing I just straight up have to say is that I feel like I've almost gone to war. I feel like I've been thrust into because I suppose really war is, it's not specifically what I would call hell, but there are a lot of things in hell that do remind me of, like, places of war. Dirt, famine, disease, rotten food, excrement everywhere, lice, rats, noise, and being incredibly uncomfortable. And which is really, again, even more interesting so when you think about the fact that just for one moment, what Metallica have actually managed to do in Disposable Heroes is that it kind of, they even Metallica, even in their hardest songs, they're kind of, there really are, there's a very specialness about how soothing, I want to say, stuff, even stuff from Kill 'Em All is actually actually really, really pleasant to listen to. And when it comes to Disposable Heroes, it's for the same reasons. It's hard, it's gritty, it makes you feel scared that something is coming round the next corner. And that's a great way to keep your audience absolutely in suspense, because when Metallica songs are there's one thing Metallica songs are not, ladies and gentlemen: boring. A bad Metallica album, well, same Tanga, but I'm just throwing that one out there. But a bad Metallica song is, in my opinion, one that doesn't try to do anything different, or if it does try something different, then it's brilliant concept but terrible execution. Maybe that's the secret to bad Metallica songs, but Disposable Heroes is what I just said there. It's great concept and an even better execution. We'll make a song about war, but we're going to take our people to war. And I wonder if this was on the mind of, like, Mustaine as well, because of Holy Wars. And I think I might just check out Holy Wars while I'm here as well. I absolutely love that song. I really do. But when it comes to, like, Disposable Heroes, it is, I'm still caught in this perpetual sort of, like, loop, ladies and gentlemen, about which song is technically my favourite, Disposable Heroes or And Justice for All. Which one really is the best? And honestly, I don't think I could possibly ever come down to it. The only thing that might possibly make the difference is whatever song I'm listening to at the moment. When it's Disposable Heroes, it's Disposable Heroes. When it's And Justice for All, it's And Justice for All. There is some, I'm gonna go through, like, one comment on here and then done, because I absolutely just staggered. Fuck that back to the front line sends chills down my spine. I do like that, because it's really the only real part that's not, like, actually sung in this. It's Hetfield just straight up giving orders, and he does that almost to perfection. Bit like this whole song, really. It is Metallica's golden hour. and I'll forever be damned or forever be confused as to why this album was just not called Disposable Heroes. I mean, the Master of Puppets is only really like in the sky with his strings on the graves, which is kind of an interesting idea when you think about it, but it really should have just been called the Disposable Heroes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I suppose if there's one thing I kind of like want to like end this video off on one saying, is that you don't need to go to war to simply consider yourself being disposable. What's slightly sad, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's not, you will only feel like you are disposable if other people treat you as disposable and you are taken for granted. And it's a difficult one, ladies and gentlemen. I might cover this in a separate video entirely, but I like to imagine the people out there who are watching this, they're not disposable. They're our friends. And we should learn how to work together, not fight each other. That's maybe we could solve world peace that way. Do you think it's possible? What do you think? So anyway, after I've just about like cleared myself up, I hope all of you guys have enjoyed this reaction video. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section now below and what you guys thought of Disposable Heroes for yourselves, and I will look forward to all of you guys again in the next video. Take care and bye bye for now.